Hello everyone, this is Christos. Welcome to another day in my life, and today we're going to look at why ankle stability is all to do with finding the perfect foot tripod. So first of all, you can't improve stability of the foot with strengthening exercises. A lot of people will be given strengthening exercises. It might be in the way of pulling the foot up towards the shin, coming up onto the toes, pulling the foot in or out against resistance bands to help with the stability of the foot and to avoid ongoing rolls of the ankle outwards or inwards. But generally this fails because of the lack of a foot tripod. So what is it? Well, the foot tripod is a triangular base that essentially we rest our whole body on top of. Now we all have this triangular base, but the most optimal is the widest one. The most widest tripod or triangular base allows us to balance over a bigger surface area, and so there is less likelihood of the ankle rolling. So working at strength without a wide base is only going to be a problem, because if we've got a small base, let's say the second toe to the fourth toe, you'll see how that is much narrower, and so strengthening is not going to stop the foot and the ankle from rolling in and out. The same goes for balance work. If we have a less than optimal foot tripod, again second to fourth or even second to third to heel like an ice skate, this is going to mean that we're constantly wobbling about. So if we're doing balance work, it could be balance work with eyes closed. There's going to be a lot more of this. Now, working at this, reactivity of the muscular system may improve, but it's just going to mean that your wobbles might be controlled quicker than it would if it wasn't worked on. But still, we're not really finding a nice wide base for the ankle to have good dynamic control and good stability on as we move forwards in space. So what we need is this nice wide base, big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle and heel. And in order to find this, we need to help the foot make its two important shapes. That is to get flatter and to flatten well and to get nice and mobile with the big toe knuckle, little toe knuckle and heel in contact with the ground, and then to lift well with these points in contact with the ground. So instead of strengthening or balancing, if we just bring the ground up to these important contact points, then we can take weight onto the foot, trying to encourage it to flatten, and then we can encourage it to regain rigidity whilst we keep these points of contact on the ground. So it might be that you tap to imaginary clock points. Imagine you were in the middle of an imaginary clock, and this is your right foot. With your left foot, you might tap to different clock points, allowing the right knee to bend as you reach out with the other foot, but ensuring you've got contact of these points. And every tap you do to a different clock point will allow the knee to bend, the foot to flatten, which will encourage what we're looking for on these points of contact. So this is dynamic control of the foot. And then you might even bring the left leg over the right leg to encourage outward motion of the ankle, ensuring these points of contact. Now, we don't want to consciously push down into the ground with these points of contact. It's much better to ensure this exercise is something that you don't do in your conscious mind. So you would place a rolled up sock or flannel under these points of contact as you do it, and you might find that very quickly this feeling of rolling reduces, and not only will your stability improve, actually the muscles surrounding the ankle will also start to work better, so you'll have strength improvements from it too. Now, on top of that, it's not to say strengthening work is useless. Actually, it's very helpful, but it's only really helpful if the foot can find these important contact points. So I'd work at this first, strength second, and then see how you get on. But I think that will help a lot. If you've got any questions, just let me know, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.